We are focusing right now on those undetermined needs that we will have little time to respond to, that we will have little time to figure out how it is that we want to structure our C2 system and how our programs need to connect.
What we found is that no one country can go this alone. And unless we can effectively communicate between those echelons of command and between those different nationalities, we're putting our guys at risk.
So through such enablers as the Future Mission Network, we hope to expand those capabilities that we have endeavored to create with Combined Endeavor. Combined Endeavor is foremost a long-range engagement program. It builds communication, network interoperability, and collective cyber defense between participating partner nations.
Combined Endeavor is in its 18th year. Started in 1995 with 2 NATO nations and 8 Partnership for Peace nations.
The first years it was only standard go, no-go communication or connection test.
In 1998 we introduced a new observer status and also started integrating voice and data networks.
At my first Combined Endeavor it was just equipment to equipment testing, nothing more.
That was highly successful, and actually very quickly we grew out of that simple testing into more complicated testing. As the 1990s progressed and more of the nations within the Combined Endeavor family were moving toward automated battle command systems and moving toward network-centric and network-enabled operations.
We introduced a new NetOps function to the exercise, and as the national C2 systems matured, so did the testing that we did with those nations.
Over the past several years, those have moved again from simple router-to-router interconnectivity testing to where we are today, which is highly complicated battle command systems operating on top of those networks.
Now the Combined Endeavor is a technical, tactical and operational exercise.
The ability to link together functional tests and do operational interoperability assessments has grown, and that's kind of the continued push for the future.
The logistics of Combined Endeavor is extremely complex, very fast moving, a lot of equipment moving around in a short period of time.
We have a total of 39 nations and 3 international organizations participating in the exercise. So we expect about 1,100 plus participants, which will be located, as last year, at Grafenwehr here in Germany.
In a period of 4 days, you'd see an empty shell and then get filled up with the stuff that you'd see in a command center. Of antennas and radios, testing channels, doing all sorts of heavy lifting for some equipment, pulling cables across the base.
It's incredible to me, the energy that everybody brings, the professionalism. It makes me very happy to know that people like this are guaranteed that the operators have what they need when they arrive on station.
We brought in tactical operations centers from all 4 services. Each service was able to test their ability to deploy and establish critical communications within their mission essential task time constraints. The Air Force brought the new C2 forward element called CRISP. This was the first time it was deployed in a coalition environment. We've got the Marine Corps Command Operations Center. We brought in C&E MAST through C-130s that landed at the airfield of Grafenwehr. The Army brought up DJC-2, and they brought those in by flatbed trucks.
Representing United States European Command, Chief, International C4 Interoperability and Engagement Division, Colonel Lemuel Thomas.
I welcome you to the 2012 iteration of Combined Endeavor. Combined Endeavor not only allows partner nations to validate and integrate innovative technical solutions on C4 equipment. Our success is measured by commanders and the senior decision makers on whether the information flow is either enhanced or limited by the information systems that we provide.
So with Combined Endeavor being operationally focused and having an overall scenario that drives the exercise, CyberInject also has a scenario, and we include the cyber defense portion of the scenario to make it operationally relevant and more realistic to the users, because cyber is part of the battle space.
we are not just testing the equipment, we are also trying to conduct the scenario to make that equipment operational in a coalition environment on the battlefield.
Combined Endeavor is a very important exercise for us because the German Army is oriented towards its operational requirements. And on operations we always have to work together with international partners, and therefore it is very important that we train this kind of international cooperation, interoperability ahead of time, so that when any problems arise they do not come up when the enemy is on the other side, but that we can solve the problems before we get into the field.
It is important for us to take part in Combined Endeavor to test our communication equipment, so on the field we can understand each other and interoperate with our partners.
Each country members bring their own equipment, and all of us we are trying to make all this equipment to work under one network.
We will bring here the most important systems that we used in Afghanistan or the other operation area around the world.
We need to improve and to test during exercises like Combined Endeavor all the solutions we have to deploy in the field.
Well, Combined Endeavor is a large contributor in making sure that all those nations are prepared to deploy in a coalition environment, whether that's in Afghanistan, in Libya, or any other crisis that may happen in the world.
During the next several years of Combined Endeavor, we hope to develop, refine, and exercise the joining, membership, and exiting instructions that pertain to the Future Mission Network.
For this exercise, probably one of the greatest forms of success has always been plagiarism. So when you have a real-world operation in the future or a command post exercise, and they're able to take the products that we've produced, the joining, membership, and exiting instructions that we've updated, that we've developed, and use those to build a coalition network, then I'll say we've achieved success.
And so in the future, Combined Endeavor is going to start moving towards the federated network, in particular the Future Mission Network. And the importance of that is, as an operator, when we arrive on station, the work that Combined Endeavor does will allow Phase 1 operations to begin much more quickly in order to get the troops into the fight faster.